Call me crazy, but I believe the EOS RP is a genius camera, and it's probably for a reason you overlooked. What's good, everybody? My name is Sydney Baker Green. I'm an international photographer, content creator, and cinematographer, and today I wanted to talk about the EOS RP and why I think that this is a genius move on Canon's part. Now, I do not have the camera body, but this is not a video that I specifically need a camera body for. I have enough information based off of a lot of the things that I've seen to make the statement on this being a very smart and strategic business move for Canon. Now, if you're new to my channel, on Sundays, I generally reserve this video space for business talk with respect to photography or even the industry, because we're not just photographers, we are business owners, and that's important. That's why a lot of people fail at photography, is because they don't understand that they're business owners. So I want to use the Canon EOS RP to give you a great example of what it means to be a business owner, to really believe in your product, push your product, and think outside the box beside what people say. So let's get right into it. We all know the Canon EOS RP is getting a bad rap right now. There are a few quirks of the camera, simple things that are missing from it. The fact that it's missing 24 FPS and 1080p video is a big downside to this camera. And also the fact that if you want to get a lens with this camera instead of just getting the body, it's $2,000. So people are looking at this body like, oh my God, Canon's coming out with mirrorless cameras and they're just dropping the ball. But are they? If you look at CanonRumors.com, it says that they are supposed to come out with 2 camera bodies this year with the EOS R series. The first one that they have dropped after the EOS R has been the RP. So there is camera number 1. Now, what does this mean? Now, let's be real. A lot of the reviews about the Canon EOS RP are coming from people like myself who own 1DX Mark IIs or top-of-the-line photography equipment. I think part of the reason this camera is getting a bad rap simply is because there are a lot of us, myself included, who are part of the Canon team, who love Canon color science, who love everything about the company, but are disappointed that there's not a top-of-the-line camera out there for us that is mirrorless and small. I mean, I'm gonna be real with you, shooting with the 1DX, taking it around everywhere is a pain in the ass. But that being said, a lot of the bias and a lot of the bash that I feel this camera is getting is because it's not the camera for us. And I feel like a lot of us are just really want that camera to be there. But does that mean it's a terrible camera and has absolutely no place in the Canon ecosystem? Well, let's take a look back at Canon's track record. The Canon EOS RP is a consumer camera. It's simply not for us. And a lot of the reviews out there have been like, oh my God, there's no 24 FPS. You can't do cinematic video without 24 FPS. Well, first things first, FPS is up to interpretation. The movie Acrimony was shot in 60 and I thought it looked horrible, but it worked for the movie. And second of all, that's not who Canon is targeting. Let's be honest, the Canon EOS RP is for one person and one person only. Your grandma who wants a full frame camera. If you look at some of the advertisements that Canon has used on Facebook for the EOS RP when it first dropped, it was replace your smartphone with the Canon EOS RP. Simply put, they are targeting their Rebel users. As a matter of fact, I believe I paid at least $800 for my Rebel. This is a mirrorless camera, first generation. It comes out about $1,200. That's not very bad price skew. I mean, it's almost $600, but I mean, when you look at the mathematics and it being first generation, it makes sense the price point that the camera's at. But second of all, we really need to take a step back and stop bashing this camera and tell the people who it's for. Because in all honesty, I think this is a great camera if you're starting out in photography and you're only looking to do photography. As a matter of fact, with it being a consumer camera, if somebody wants a full frame consumer camera, this would be the camera for them to buy. Why? Because it does take great still images. And yes, if you want to get the lens, it's $2,000, but you can simply get the RF to EF converter and use your existing Canon lens if you're already there. So, but now that we've established who this camera is for, now that we've established that a lot of the slack it's been getting has been because professionals are just like, it's not a professional camera, it was never meant to be. It purposefully omitted things because that's not the camera for you to buy, which is perfectly okay. But now let's address the things where people are saying, oh, Canon is slipping, Canon is no longer the #1 company. Well, that's not necessarily correct either. Now here's where we dive into the great business part. Canon is very smart because Canon has brand recognition. That means they are allowed to push out products like this. And in a consumer market, brand recognition is what wins. Simply put, that's why there's the big competition between Apple and Samsung. Nobody hears of the other brands that come out with phones. And although there may be a small minority group who's like, oh my God, I love this phone. Yes, I'm team HTC or I'm team ZTE. most of the time, the majority of the consumer population is going to go with Apple and Samsung because they have brand recognition, despite the fact that Apple has been giving out really watered down updates. That hasn't stopped people from buying the latest iPhone. I mean, maybe now more so because it's been continuously a track record for them, but you get the point. So here's how the brand recognition thing works. When the grandma who walks into Best Buy and wants a nice full frame camera to take pictures of their grandchildren with or whatever, walks into the store, she's gonna see Canon's name, she's gonna see the EOS RP, and generally at that age and with that money, yes, I'm stereotyping, but gets the point across, you have a specific ideal client, they're probably gonna go with the Canon camera because they know Canon, they trust Canon, and it's been around for a long time. And the same can be said for the soccer mom who wants to take good pictures of their kids. I've seen it in real life in my own athletic career with moms with cameras that they really don't even know how to use fully. Some do know how to use these cameras fully, but a lot of them just got the camera because it was big and bad. So from a marketing standpoint, this is a very genius move from Canon because it's gonna sell like hotcakes. They have the brand recognition to do this. And I think as business owners and photographers, we really should be applauding their strategic business efforts and how well it's probably going to work out for them. Now, continuing on that note, I think we also need to realize that pushing out statements like Canon is losing it, that they're not gonna go anywhere, is a really farce and far-fetched statement because we're looking at Canon as a camera company who makes, even with our professional DSLRs, we're still consumers. We're not the professionals that Canon really makes their money off of. Yes, this is a big part of what they make their money off of, but they also have cinema lines that have cameras that range up to $50,000. They're in hospitals. They're in the industry as far as networking goes. They are in dentist offices with X-ray radiation cameras. They're also in the commercial printing business and in the photo printing business, and that's just page one of Canon in the business industry. So another business lesson we can really take away from Canon in this instance is the fact that if you want to be able to make risky moves and put out a terrible product, yes, I do think the EOS RP is terrible, but I'm biased. It would be a great camera for somebody who's never had a camera or who's shooting on a Rebel. But the point is, if you want to be able to take risky moves, which oftentimes leads to a great outcome, if you want to be able to take those risky moves, then you need to diversify yourself so all your eggs aren't in one basket. And that's what Canon has done. That's why they're able to test the water with this first generation technology. So I think it's a really great talking point where we really unpack the fact that, yes, this camera isn't the best, but Canon knows what they're doing. And second of all, let's lay off because our time is coming. And I think that we will have a fair opportunity to complain if they release what I'm speculating is going to be the EOS RX as they follow with their professional line with the 1DX. So I'm pretty sure they're going to push the innovation in that aspect, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna see a camera that's for us. But I think we need to just take a step back and really quit bashing the EOS RP because there's really no need for it. To me, I look at the EOS RP as a full frame Rebel. Would I ever go back to my Rebel? No. But since I am part of the Canon ecosystem and I do like their products, if I knew somebody out there who was looking for a beginner camera, would I tell them, hey, go get the EOS RP? I'm pretty sure it shoots C-Log. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that, but there's some features in there with that megapixel count. You're gonna get great images. You're gonna be able to really push them with the file size. Yeah, go ahead and get it. And you won't suffer from the low light, trap that I was in with the T5i. So it's all about making sure that we're really open-minded with these conversations and really doing our due diligence as content creators to take a step back from our initial impressions, because we have to remember, we oftentimes have the privilege as content creators of using some top-of-the-line gear. Not everybody's like us. I'm actually getting comments on a previous YouTube video that I made about a camera bag that everybody's like, it's actually not a good camera bag because it's too expensive. Hey, everybody out here is being marketed to. You're just not the person it's for. So we need to keep those things in mind from business perspective and then apply them to our own business. How can we leverage what Canon has done with creating this product specifically for somebody and use it to our advantage? Can we cater our photography packages in that way? Can we target specific brands with strategic placement maybe? Can we, do things to put ourselves in a favorable light with that brand? Or could we even price ourselves in this brand's price range so they're more apt to work with us? All these things are factors when it comes to, creating a successful business, and not only a successful one, but a sustainable one. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I actually switched to decaf when I started making it, and I might have rambled on a little bit, but I think I've gotten the point across. Let's stop knocking companies' hustles. and give them a break on their first generation stuff. Just like the Samsung Galaxy Fold, it's a terrible, ugly looking phone. If I could justify the $2,000 phone, as ugly as it is, I would probably get it. But its first generation is probably gonna get better. Wait a few years and come back to this video and tell me down in the comments I'm right. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, please give it a big thumbs up, share it with a friend or somebody who may need to hear it, somebody who's considering the EOS RP, and follow me on my social media. The links are in the description down below. Also, my YouTube fam, shout out to Will, Dr. D, Nathan, Kim, and Colin Babbitt. Their links are gonna be in the description down below. Go show my YouTube fam some love, and remember folks, every day, airplanes take off again. And remember, every day, airplanes take off against the wind. Live, love, laugh, stay inspired, and as always, stay fabulous. My name is Sidney Baker Green. I will see you guys on Wednesday. Deuces. Deuces.